Hi, I am Rachel Morgan, a sales coach who works with retailers to help them boost their sales and drive long-term growth within their business. Today, I am chatting with Katherine Beltran, who is a business coach and motivational speaker who works with struggling small business owners by helping them go from fear and overwhelm to success. Before becoming a business coach, Katherine attended Miami University and earned her executive and business coaching certification. Eventually, she worked her way up the corporate ladder and held a position in the International Coaching Federation Board in the Central Florida chapter, which is so cool. Katherine has become one of my good friends in this community and is truly fantastic at lead generation, especially offline. She constantly inspires me to get out there and do more networking, which I knew I had to have this conversation with because it's absolutely perfect. So I'm excited to chat with her about lead generation and what, of course, that looks like 24/7 and why we don't want to just rely on online. So let's get it on. Welcome.
Hey, good morning. How are ya?
Here we go. Hello, good morning or good afternoon.
Good. For some reason, I
I'm
don't know
so good. How
what
are
is
you
happening.
today?
It
Oh,
is so weird. Yeah. Oh,
oh, there you go.
I
You're back.
first I didn't see you, then I
You're
see.
back. You're
Anyway,
back.
so
You're good. Yeah.
yes, thank you so
Yeah.
much. How
Well,
are
you're
ya?
here now. Well, welcome, Catherine. I'm glad. Yes. Yes. So for those, I am
Thank
so
you
good.
so
For those that
much.
are just joining, can you tell
Yes.
them where you're from?
What do you say? I'm sorry. Oh, where I am from. I'm from Colombia, but
Oh,
I live
where,
in
where are you from?
I have been living in the United States for the past 25 years. So, yes. Yes,
Love
it's
it. Love
rainy
it.
today, but it's 80
Nice and warm
degrees.
and sunny.
You're here.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's 50
Oh,
degrees in Seattle right now, which is
okay.
actually a little
That's
warm
good.
for Seattle at this time of year, but I'll take it. So definitely different. Well, Catherine, so I feel like, okay, we all want to generate leads and we spend a lot of time online trying to generate those
Uh,
leads. So what is
so
kind of the
one of the
secret to
things that
generating them
that
offline?
I do for my business and I advise my client is networking, right? And yes, we can network online, but I will say
Mm-hmm.
that the power of networking offline, and I say in the real life, is huge, uh, because you have so many opportunities. However, before I start, like I have like some do's and don'ts of when you are
Right.
networking. However, most people see networking as a
Yeah.
transaction. And I can say this, like this morning I was in a networking event, right? It's a great
Mm-hmm.
organization, fantastic woman. However,
Right.
most people miss that link because it's that like I'm networking and pitching, right? And
Mm.
and that's the concept of
Right.
networking. But in the other hand, when you do it in the right way, is unlimited the possibilities and the opportunities that you have when you go to a networking event. Even if you are attending online, there are also some like protocols,
Right.
things like that you can do, and tips that maybe that we're gonna talk today. But networking
Mm-hmm.
is key in order to generate. And most people, I feel that many people get caught in the idea of having
Right.
an online business, and an online business, like at least that you're a social media manager. Instagram is not your business, or TikTok is not your business. That's a part of your business, right? Or if you're a course creator, yes, of
Right.
course, this is, probably is an online business. But if you have a 360, you have to be out there.
Right. 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 Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. So, like that's like a platform that you use. It's a tool, but it is not your business. I agree with you. It's interesting what you said about um transactional. So we definitely should circle back to that. But I often find at networking events that everyone is just pitching to everyone, and I think that happens online too. And like you really don't
Yes,
generate business
yes.
from that when you're just all pitching to each other, right? To me, it leaves an impression even, and it's not a good one necessarily. So, but before we continue that, I feel like most of us understand what networking is, but in
For
your
me,
own words, like what does it
network
mean to
is the
network?
opportunity
Like what is that?
to get to know somebody else's personality and somebody else's business. And also my opportunity for people that know who I am,
Mm,
right? So that's for me basically what is networking. It's not about the sell or the pitching or what I can get. It's about the impression that I can leave when I enter into a room and when I leave to the room. My objective is to leave the people that may benefit from what I have to offer, for being inspired for who I am or whatever. When I come to my world, is there. If they see me one day on the street, they know that I'm Katherine, or you know what, I met you here and there.
mm-hmm.
So that's my goal when I go to a networking
Mm-hmm.
event, because it's all about,
I like it.
is this is
Right.
something that I always say, it's not who you know, it's who they know. And there is not a better place than when you network to apply this.
I agree. I agree. I agree. So networking is really, it's meeting other like-minded people. In this case, it would be business owners, and getting to know more about them and what they do, and
Yeah.
like expanding your network, the people that you know, right? And you never know who they know, like you just said. I mean, truly, I think people forget about that. I know I'm one of those people that say, you're not right for me, but I really am going to consider you and recommend you to others, right? And a lot of people kind of dismiss that, but I am definitely one of those people that likes to connect others, and I have. And so when I do that, people are always like really surprised. So I would say that's also like a really good thing that can come out of networking with others. But you mentioned that you have some do's and don'ts. And so in order to do it successfully and to generate leads, I would love to hear. Let's start with don'ts. What are some things that
Okay,
you
so yeah,
recommend
they're different. Like when
avoiding
you
when it
network
comes to
in
networking?
person, also, you know beforehand what type of networking you're going to, right? Not all not networking events are the same. Like I can tell you that is for a chamber of commerce, maybe there are 500 people in the
Right.
room and you get in and you don't know where to go. And so,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, know where you're going. But one of the things that I will say is about pitching and remembering that you are not there just to pitch your products and services. So in the way that you speak about yourself or your company, right, is key. And I will say another don't is stick with one group within the networking event, because at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, you're there for the most people to hear what you have to say and to connect with people. So number one, don't pitch, get in there just to pitch who you are and what you have to offer. And number two will be, like don't stay within one group.
Right.
And I know that sometimes may be intimidating because you're there and you don't know
I
what to
agree.
say or what to do. And you want to stick with people that may be the first 5
Mm-hmm.
or 4 that you feel comfortable. But again, you have to get out of your comfort zone. You're there to meet people, to let people know who you are, and to be genuine. And
Right.
in order to be able to deliver that in
I
that
like it.
way, I will say that there is a preparation before you go. uh, Prepare what you're going to say, what is
Mm-hmm.
going to be, your elevator pitch, how you're going to present yourself.
Yeah.
There are different things that we don't think about it, but it's as
Mm-hmm.
easy as if you serve yourself a coffee, you want to, have it in your left hand in order you can, shake the hand of whoever you're meeting. So there are like different things that are
Mm-hmm.
going to have an impact on the
Yep.
people that you are meeting and on those prospects, leads, or people that you're
Mm-hmm.
going to get collaborations from, or their recommended products or services.
Right. Right. I would
Yes.
also add, try to stay off your phone. I think it's really easy to have your phone out, So, hey, Carrie, social media. I think of an event I recently went to actually, and I had my phone out only because my digital business card was on it. But I really tried to not respond to text, to be on it, to be on social. The only time I had it out was when I was interacting with that person and exchanging information, right? But I definitely saw a lot
Yes.
of people grouping up together, and it almost like feels intimidating to approach those groups, right? And I was just thinking, like, why aren't you trying to promote your business or get talking to other people? And so much good came out of it when you just go out there and introduce yourself. And from that, I was able to go to a fundraiser. I had
Yeah.
emails that were going back and forth, opportunities for myself. So you never know, like, who you're going to chat with just by going around and working the room and chatting, and who they
Mhm.
know and who they might think of. And that impression, I think, is
Yes,
confidence when you
absolutely.
are
And I
confident
think
enough
that,
to walk around by yourself.
you want to leave that impression that you are, approachable, and that like light personality, and that people can talk to you and feel
Mm-hmm.
comfortable about, talking to you and sharing who they are, versus I'm here for the pitch. uh and because many times, again, you don't want to be remembered
Right.
in the wrong way. Like, I can remember the people that was just like pitching, and
Right.
I don't want to talk to them, or I don't want to. Yes.
Right. It feels salesy, right? It's always when we don't want to feel salesy. It's typically when we are. But you make a good point too, and I would say this is also like sales
Yes.
psychology, right? Is don't talk about yourself. Avoid talking about yourself. So I always I'm sure you would agree, go into it. Like
Yes.
I was talking to someone else about this, but there's the ABCs of sales, right? Always be closing. But I like to call it always be curious. And so going into the conversation, being curious about the other person that you're talking to and asking a lot of questions about them. And then typically, naturally, they'll ask it in return. And so I would say that's a don't to avoid is avoid it going into it to just talk about yourself first. Go into it talking about them and learning about the person
Yes.
in front of you. I think that it makes people feel more important, right? And feel good. And when people
Yes.
feel good, they're more likely
Exactly.
to
And
associate those feel good feelings with you.
especially when the same thing, like if you're a coach or if you work in retail, whatever, listening skills are key. And like you say, having that curiosity of knowing what the other person has to say, because we know that in sales that this is the most wonderful tool that we all have. It's just like it's very
Mm-hmm.
challenging to manage, and it's listening, right? When you stay curious and you listen what they have to
Mm-hmm.
say, and
I agree.
then you can prepare then one, if that person is for you, is the right client, how you can collaborate. So then you can respond and you can talk, and you can start to have that
Mm-hmm.
connection, that truly connection that is going to get you, to the next level.
Right.
Same as you, I
Mm-hmm.
have contracts from,
Mm-hmm.
corporate speaking engagements and different things from networking events. Not just like pitching my services.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like from listening and really staying curious.
Right.
And one thing that you say, and I will say that is a don't, is interrupt. And that is part of being a listener. And being an active listener is challenging because we always have something to say, right? We are
Mm-hmm.
thinking ahead of that person. We feel that we have the
Mm-hmm.
answer, and we feel that I know what you need. But at the end of the day, we don't. If we don't listen, we don't know. And that's one of the biggest mistakes, interrupting whoever is talking and trying to say like, or I have, or I do, or I will, before they finish. So that will
Mm-hmm.
break that connection right away, because everybody likes to feel, I like to feel, somebody's listening when I
Mm-hmm.
have to talk, right? So there are things, like I said
Right.
before, many times we don't think before we go. We just like, I have this networking event, or I have to sit down, in this online networking event. But really actually working on,
Mm-hmm.
and doing your best at your networking event is key.
I agree. So just to kind of summarize what you said, in order to generate leads 24/7, you highly recommend networking. Networking is going to an event of like-minded people. So in this case, it's businesses. And then there's a couple don'ts that we've already talked about. So far you've mentioned avoid pitching immediately. We said stay off your phone, right? Because you're there to meet people. Avoid sticking to the same people the whole time. Get out there, introduce yourself to others and get talking. And then I know that there was a fourth one that I'm blanking on. You said that it was oh gosh, I'm totally blanking what you said the fourth one was.
Yeah. No interrupting.
Or maybe they kind of combined, right? Oh, it just not interrupting. Literally what you just said. Yes, avoid interrupting. So on the flip side, right, what we want to be doing is generating leads. And obviously the don'ts can affect if we generate people, because it is an impression and you only have that one chance to make a good impression, especially in person. And I also I'm going to throw this in here real quick. One thing you said is you've gotten contracts from networking events. And so these are people you never would have reached if you had been online. And so I think that's the key there, is like recognizing that business does exist offline, and that networking is a powerful way to meet people and reach people you might have never reached. So we want that, right? So what are some good things that we can do, some good best practices when it comes to networking that you recommend people do? What are the do's?
Dress to impress. I know that, the first impressions are key. I'm going to say this, there is so much fluff in the online space, and I know that we're towering like being authentic and being unique, but that doesn't have nothing to do in the way that you present yourself. I
agree. I just want to say I agree with that. And that's because it's a body language, right? And body language makes up 55% of communication. Exactly. And someone will decide if you're able to help them or not simply by the way that you're dressed. Yeah. And so I agree. I dress amazing. Like, so I'm going to a networking event tonight. I'll have my heels on and my blazer and everything, because I know that most people there will be wearing jeans and a t-shirt. Exactly. And I'm going to stand out as a real professional, right?
It's key.
So I agree with you.
It's key. I agree with you. Especially, for people, online service providers, that they want to have high ticket offers, or, different organizations. I know that we may say that we are in another generation, but these are just the basics. Yes.
The way you present yourself is important. Yes. I mean, obviously we want to be able to speak how we want to speak, but I think that, obviously if you look put together, it looks like you have attention to detail, you take care of yourself, that you put thought, that you're organized, right? Not to say that, we all have our moments, right?
Exactly.
We're not all perfect, but putting in that little extra effort goes a long way in your appearance, and it matters. It really does matter. And for anyone rewatching this or listening, I would really think about that when you're working with people.
Yes,
like
100%.
What do you notice about
I think
them?
that that's key. Is like, like I don't feel that going to college, for example, when I used to work in corporate, hiring somebody that goes to college doesn't mean that you're going to be successful. However, from a recruiter, is you got that ability to graduate, to stay 4 years in something, and you spend on, bettering yourself or learning a skill. That's kind of the same with the way that you dress. The other thing that I would say that is do, and that this will happen after the event, is how you follow up, right? Most people go to the event, they get the business cards, and I will follow up, and you never hear from them until you see them in another networking event. So when you are in that event, of course, you want to be intentional. You don't want to waste time with people that is not going to benefit from what you have to offer. They're not going to be inspired. They're not going to, nothing to do. So being intentional, who you meet, and after, how you're going to follow up with them. I will recommend email. And if they have social media, that's a great way for, to reach out. Why social media as well? Because you're going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
We are all on social media. In
Mm-hmm.
one or another one,
I
we
agree.
are there.
On one platform or
So
another.
if they
Yes.
follow you, if you follow up with an email, if you find them on social media, so then you are, you're in front of them, and it's going to be much easier for them to remember you if they have to recommend you to somebody else. So I feel that, that follow up with the people that you meet at the event that can benefit from your services, or you can collaborate with them, be genuine, right? Many times I follow up with people, and many times I meet after for a coffee or for lunch or things like that, and I have built great relationships that have opened a lot of doors for for my business.
Yeah, I agree with that. One technique that I do, and I think this touches base, just to kind of show in real time too what it can look like. I heard about this digital business card. It's called Hi Hello. I'm not an affiliate. It's just so you know what it is. And what it does is you can put all your information on there. So your email, your website, all your social links, your title, your photo, everything about you. And it's a QR code. And so when you show people it, they scan it, and it automatically puts you as a contact in their phone, which I'm like, that's great, right? And so not only are they scanning it, and then when it asks for their information in return. So then it puts it in my phone, but it puts it in the app. So it doesn't add them as a contact. But so not only am I in their phone, but I'm taking note, I'm asking questions. I'm immediately trying to remember really intimate details about them, like what they do, why they did it. I don't know, like anything they tell me about their friends and family and whatnot, right? And then the next morning, I'll send them an email, a really personalized email, like you said, following up, and say, it was such a pleasure to meet you. I really enjoyed learning about this, this, and this about you. I would love to connect with you further. Please let me know how I can support you. And then from there, I'm looking for them on social media, right? And I'm going to follow them there as well. And it was like amazed, like most people reply, and they're just like, wow, that's really cool. And I will tell you from these events, most people, like, I don't think I've ever received an email from someone like that before. I am usually the one that initiates it. One friend that like I said, I was able to go to a fundraiser and a couple other events with a business. I have someone that I still keep in contact with often, and they run a networking group, and they've invited me to that quite often. Like it trickles. And with the holidays right now, that's a great time to follow up with those people again and wish them happy holidays and happy new year. And but that's like multiple follow-ups, right? That's like taking note of them in our conversation. It's following up with them the next day through an email. It's following up with them on social media. It's following up again to wish them happy holidays. And at that point, I'm not even really offering my services quite yet either. I'm just saying, hey, I'm here. Don't forget about me. And obviously my email signature has things in there that say, here's how you can work with me and all that. But just trying to build like a connection, like a friendship. Like, hey, I'm here. I'm a real person. So I think that I know that was really long-winded, but to your point, I think that, you go to these events and you meet these people and you spend all this time and all this energy talking and meeting and learning, and then for it to go nowhere, right? So following up is so key.
I feel that
sure
that yes, is key, is as important as going, right? And building those those relationships and those connections. Another thing that I feel going back to the do's is most of the time when people go to those networking events just to pitch and looking forward to just sell, they're missing the opportunity to meet somebody that is 5 steps ahead of them, right? People that is why? Because that's what is the opportunity. Of course, you are, because you are not there to pitch. You are there to connect and collaborate and see and propel your business and grow, right? So is also maybe looking for you who can help you to go to the next step. It's not always about you. It's not going to be always about pitching your services. And this is something that, you know, for people that is watching us, you know, watching this, it's not about you. This is not a transactional type of thing. This is an opportunity for you to grow, and it's an opportunity for you to find, you know, the way to bring your business or yourself to the next level, right? How it's not just collaboration. Maybe you realize that you need to hire somebody. Maybe you realize that it's time to invest in yourself, right? That you meet somebody that make you feel that. So again, it's going to that networking event from a place of abundance instead of lack and pitching, because that's how they're going to remember you. And somebody that is, you know, 5-10 steps ahead of you, they can really smell when you are pitching and when you are not ready. But if you are humble, if you are ready to learn, they're going to remember you, and they're going to help you, and they're going to help you to move you forward. And you can get invited to events or galas or things, you know, and open more opportunities. So being able to have that open mentality when you go to a networking event, that maybe is an opportunity for you to grow. Look for people that is 5-10 steps ahead of you. Feel comfortable, reach out, be authentic, have a, you know, a conversation that is light. You can ask what they do, you can listen, and you can follow up. But being able to but you are not going to be able to do that if you're just there to pitch. If you're just there to sell, you're not going to be able to do that.
I agree. Right. And I think you're going to have a really hard time finding a client if you're there to sell, truthfully. But I like what you said about going there to like learn, right? Because there are other people that have been where you are. And when you get talking and you're curious and you learn about their journey, like people want to support you. Like they're in networking to support, right? You know, I can think of one person that after everyone left, me and her were chatting afterwards, like for a while, and she was telling me about her journey, and she started asking a lot of questions about me and saying, hey, like, I really think that you would benefit from being a part of this. And so, you know, of course, I wrote that down and I looked into it immediately after, but I never would have gotten there had we not just like had a conversation and just like aimed to learn about each other. And we like realized we lived really close. And so we've stayed connected. And, you know, especially like you're meeting people in the local area at these networking events. These aren't people that live halfway around the world either. These are real people in your community that know other people in your community. And so I like that you said that. That was some really good. And so for anyone that's just joining, we're talking about how to generate leads consistently, especially offline, 24/7. Or not consistently, but more just how to always have like lead generation in your pocket, right? Whether you're online or offline. And so we're diving into networking, right? And so far we've been talking about a few do's that we recommend you do. So number one, Katherine, you suggested, you know, make sure you dress to impress, that the way that you present yourself is really important, that it matters. And I agree. You want to come across as a professional, hopefully. So dress as a professional. Number two, you said to follow up, make sure that you are following up after the event, thanking them, reintroducing yourself, and staying in contact with them. Find them on social media. Like you said, most people are on social media on one platform or another, whether it's Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, right? And then you said to really make sure that you're looking for people that are 5 steps ahead of you and how you can learn and observe from them. And then to go into it with an abundance type mindset. Don't go into it with a scarce mindset that I'm here, I have to make a sale, I'm going to pitch everyone, but to go into it with just abundance and learning. So that really goes, you know, with the 5-step idea.
You know, I just want people to realize that this is how a networking event can impact your life, your business, or your career, right? How one networking event can impact literally your life, because you don't know down the road. Hopefully you are in this entrepreneurial journey to go and roll and stay as an entrepreneur, but you never know who is in the room. You never know if you decide to go back to corporate one day. You never know what connections you made. So this is also your opportunity to have your name out there, to other people get the right, impression of who you are, not just as a business owner, but also as a human being. Because it's, at the end of the day, people like to make business with people. People like to make business that they relate to, that they connect. So can be dressing, can be the way that you speak, can be, a story that you share. Whatever it is going to be that you bring to that networking event, always know that this is an opportunity that goes beyond that hour, an hour and a half. That is what a networking event lasts.
Right. I would also say just one more do, and I think you would agree, is to go in prepared. Always have a business card, have a way to contact you. Don't just sometimes it happens where you just end up randomly showing up. But for the most part, be prepared, know what you're going to say, know how they can contact you, have the business cards, have a plan. And I think you'll feel more confident.
And I'm glad
too,
that you
right?
mentioned that, because you can tell who is prepared and who's not. And you can tell when people is not sure what, what they do, or maybe they're sure. Somebody can come get, like today. There is one woman, fantastic. She does so many things that I was at one point I lost it. I'm like, what is what you do, right? Like, you have a podcast, you have a hair salon, you are a business coach, you are all these things that I'm trying to pinpoint how we can connect. And she was fantastic, great personality, but she lost me when she's, after the second wow was like, how many things you're gonna have. So just making sure that if you have different businesses, has to be a way for you to present yourself. Maybe is you are the brand. Maybe you have different businesses. Maybe you can invite them. There's so many times on those events that you have the opportunity to introduce yourself, if it's a small networking event. So you can send like, okay, if you want to learn more, just come to talk to me, or let's connect at the end of the event. But just like you say, being intentional, being prepared, get your elevator pitch, practice your 60 seconds introduction, and go from there, because that is going to show at the end of the day. Is going to show up. And like you say, for lead generation, is I would say, like you say, it's not like 24/7, because you are not in that networking event 24/7, but you want to have leads coming from different angles. And networking is a very powerful way to generate leads.
I agree. You know what works really well for me? I have a networking buddy, and so we'll look for events, like a group of people that we can go check out. And we're both really good because we'll go to the event together, but we don't stick together. We know that we are both there to represent ourselves. And so we'll split. And so we'll work the room together. But then when one of us maybe needs a break, or they see one of us standing with a group that we haven't chatted with yet, we'll come up to that person, and then our buddy will introduce us to the group. Right? And bring us into the conversation and say, so for instance, if I was talking to a group and my friend came over, I would say, oh guys, gosh, you have to meet my friend so-and-so. This is what she does. And then I would turn to her and be like, these are all the people that I've been chatting with, and kind of bring her in that way. And then I might step out and let her kind of get to know them. And then I'll start working other groups. And I will say that's worked really well. It made it really fun. And I feel like me and her, we really worked the room last time. And so we're together, me and her are going to an event tonight. And so I'm excited. We'll see how we do. But it's definitely not what a lot of other people were doing. I think we stood out. And I know that that event, the last one that we went to, we had people saying bye to us as they were walking out the door, right? And so that we had stood out that much. And then to, again, be in their contacts and then to send that follow-up email, we were really like making sure we stayed front of mind. And so if you're scared to go on your own, I would say take a buddy with you that has something similar. And it made me feel more comfortable meeting new people as well, but also like knowing that we could do our own thing, right?
Yes.
We weren't obviously there to rely on each other and hang out the whole time.
Yes,
We
I
did our
love
own
that.
thing,
I don't have a
but also
body,
had each
but
other in case
looking
we
forward
needed
to body with you, Rachel, one day.
it. Well, if you're in Seattle, yes. Yes. If I come to Tampa,
Yes.
well, when I come to Tampa, or if you ever come to Seattle, we could totally do it. But and in not all networking events work that way, obviously. Some you sit at a table and you go around in a circle. It's a completely different experience. So it kind of depends on where you're going, what you're doing. But so yeah. So I love this, Katherine. Well, you have I want to give you an opportunity. So if anyone wants to reach out and learn more from you, because you are phenomenal, I will say, like, just I'm always impressed by you, but I know that you have a really, really amazing conference coming up, and I want to make sure
Yes.
that you
So,
tell us what's going on in your life and how we can get
if
to know you
you're
better.
here watching, if you want to reach out a DM, I'm very, what you see is what you get. 110%. So I'm happy to connect. It's not always about the picture, the selling, or here and there. But I have an event coming up in last week of April. I don't have the date because tomorrow is when we're finalizing and signing the space. But it's the last week of April, and it's going to be in Tampa. It's Empowerment Unleashed, and it's a conference for women, business owners, or a career that they want to go to the next level and learn not only skills to bring your business to the next level, like marketing, sales, how to be persuasive when you sell, social media, and all these fantastic things that you as a business owner want to have, but also how you can have that mindset that is going to help you to go to the next level. One of the things that I know that I do pretty well with my clients is, before we dig in, we work hand by hand in that mindset space. Because as we have been talking in this, about networking, like going to with a lack mindset to create your offers, or going with something as simple as the way that you talk, right? That we try, or I try, or I should, or different things that they impact, and there is mindset. So this event is for that. It's going to be a VIP event. My goal is that every woman that attends the event feels like a very VIP person. Is going to be in a country club. I want that they feel pampered and they feel empowered, and that they get out of there not just with the tools that they need to be successful, but also that they feel their worth, and that they feel that they're ready. And that's why it's Empowerment Unleashed, because it's not just me, it's the other women that are going to be there teaching, hopefully you that are watching, these wonderful things about business. But it's also the opportunity to network with like-minded women, to get out of there with really and true connections that you can say, okay, I'm going to reach out to Rachel, or to Katherine, or to Maria, or to whoever it is there, that you make that connection, and I want them to feel special. Yes.
I love that. I think we all just really want to be seen and heard, and there's so much, in that networking too at a conference, and so that's a great opportunity to meet other people, and there's some kind of like camaraderie that comes out of those situations too. That's really unique and special, and that's built from that. So
and
I mean, again, that's
the sales
another
page
great
is
way
going
to
to,
reach out as
right
well.
now is I have a wait list. The sales page is coming up by the end of the week, putting different details together. But it's going to be a great opportunity, and it's going to be a VIP experience with a low ticket price. And that's my intention, that the people have that opportunity, and hopefully it's not of how much it is, because like I said in my stories yesterday, the price that comes with regret is higher of the price to invest in yourself.
I agree with that. So essentially, if you are in the Tampa, Florida area or anywhere near it and willing to drive or fly, of course, Catherine's going to have an amazing conference. So more details to come. So you'll definitely have to check it out. Follow her for more details, or reach out to me. I'm happy to share things as well as I learn. And I know that you also work as a business coach, right, for small businesses. So if you are looking for a business coach, oh my gosh, I cannot say enough good things about you, Katherine. I definitely admire that you understand online and offline, and I think that's a really valuable skill set when running a business.
Yes.
And I know that you've been able to truly grow a business. And so you're a fabulous recommendation, I would say, for anyone looking to work with a business coach. And Katherine is always, you're so kind in the DMs and so genuine and authentic. So definitely, if you're just looking to make a connection, reach out to her as well. And I appreciate you, of course. And I appreciate you being here and sharing all of your wonderful tips with networking. I know that you're hyping me up to go do it. So I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Any last words?
Thank you so much. Everybody has to know that you're amazing too. It's not just about me. You're great, you're kind, you're sweet, and you are the real deal, because that's how sales, that's why you're very good at what you do. Because of that. It's not just the sales skills, is the person who you are that is driving those sales. So yeah.
I agree. Well, thank you, Katherine. All right. Well, thank you for being here. And like I said, if anyone has any questions, make sure to follow up with us.
Bye.
We're happy to answer it. So everyone have a wonderful